Welcome to this first episode. Today we are going to cover the first phase of the design, the communication with the client. I will show you everything from the first email. I will show you how to evaluate different types of the clients. I will take you to the call with the client with me. You will be able to watch my bag and see what we are talking about. I will show you my proposal templates, NDA templates, etc. Basically, you will be able to learn a lot from watching how I do that. But let's do not waste our time and let's just jump directly into that.
Imagine this. It's afternoon, you are working on your designs, you are building your next big thing, and then you hear the sound, the email notification. So you quickly run into your email and you see new work inquiry and you're like, oh, awesome, let me just dive into that. Whenever you are going to receive the email, do not reply immediately. Read the email first, look for the small hints that are going to help you to understand who this person is, if this email is high quality, if they have what type of the budget they might have, because more likely person from San Francisco is going to have higher budget than person from the Europe. And look on these other hints and do your homework. Google that person, Google that company, so you can understand even before your first call if this is something you might actually end up doing. You might ask, well, what are those other types of the emails?
There are three types of emails you can receive: high quality lead, medium quality lead, and low quality lead. Each of these emails require different response, and I will actually show you what responses I am using and how you can actually find out what quality of email you are receiving. So let's just have a look on that right now.
So this was the high quality lead. You can see that it's really well crafted, it's short, effective, and it goes to the point, right? You can see those small hints such as my name, location, that he likes my work and that he needs someone immediately almost. That really gives you high chance that you are going to get this job. Then there is medium quality lead, which is looking slightly different. As you can see, we are missing those small things such as the special character on my name. There is also no mention about if they like my work or if they don't. And then they are immediately starting to ask questions like, can we work on the trial periods? Can you explain the process? Will you be able to discuss the rates and monthly retainer if everything goes well, etc. You can see that really a big difference between the voice and tone of this first high quality email and this medium quality email. You really need to look for those small hints so you can work with them down the road. And then there is the low quality lead. As you can see, there is literally nothing. Hey, I found you on Dribbble. I need a design for the website similar to xiz.com. How much that would cost? Usually those emails are extremely low quality because people just go to Dribbble, found 50 designers and they send them the same email. So you end up fighting with a huge amount of the people for the work. But if you go more to the left, there is higher chance that you are going to end up doing this work. So you actually need to be better communicator with those high quality leads than you would do with the medium quality or low quality. So let me show you what I usually respond to the high quality lead. Basically, I try to make it short and effective so we can get to the call and we can actually discuss face in face the actual work, right? So the way I all the time do it, I copy this, right? I take it, I change the name, I change the time, I embed the calendar invite directly into the email so it feels professional, and then I hit the send. Usually I receive 90% a response rate with this email, and usually it's just about a call scheduling or if we can reschedule to a different time, etc. But the response rate to this email in my case is 90% because this lead is high quality and it requires this really short, effective and straight to the point answer. If there is no follow-up in one day, try to, follow up with them and just ask them if everything is okay, if they received the email. And usually what happens is they are either traveling or they get busy, but they usually get back to you. So when you are talking to a high quality lead, make sure it's short and effective, straight to the point, and jump on the call with them as soon as possible. If you are talking about medium quality leads, you need to answer all of their questions, but have those answers prepared because they are usually similar, right? Answer them, try to be really helpful and give them what they are looking for in the most effective way, right? So if they're asking about a trial period, answer absolutely, that's fair for the both ends. I will do my best to make sure you are satisfied. And then if they are going to be asking about a process, your process is going to be relatively similar all the time. So just have everything prepared, copy paste it there. Do not waste too much time with that. Then if they would like to ask about the money, payment, etc., all the time try to help them, right? Because people are really careful when it comes to the money. And by the end of the day, this medium quality client can be great, but they are afraid of hiring you because before they actually hire a designer who didn't do the job and they end up paying him a huge amount of the money. So just be careful and try to be helpful with those guys. But with this medium quality client, as I mentioned, you are competing with more designers actually, and you need to stand out from the crowd. So what I am doing is that whenever I am replying to this email, I am also sending the sample of my work so they can actually see additional things what are not accessible online, and it can actually help them in the short period of time understand if I am the right fit or not. I also, by the end of the email, try to propose if they would like to jump on the call, because that's the best way how you can actually find out if you are the right fit and if they can actually work with you. If there is no follow-up in one day, just answer the same stuff or reply the same stuff you would do for the high quality lead, and it's just going to do the job for you. So with the medium quality leads, really try to be as much a help as possible, because this type of the client can by the end of the day be really, really good, but you just need to, they are usually scared about hiring you, and you are competing with other designers. So just be aware of that you need to do just a bit more work with the medium quality client. Then for the low quality lead, I usually just paste them the process, right? So they can understand how does this work. And then I also include something about my rate, because usually these type of the clients are really budget constrained, and I just make sure that I do not waste my time jumping on the call with them, and they will end up saying that they would like to pay $200 for this project. So I just mentioned it right away, so I actually filter them out and I do not waste my time. As you can see, I'm not doing that with any other client, because usually those clients and my homework, what I have done before, is going to help me to actually filter out the bad clients. Obviously, sometimes it can happen with the medium quality clients that if you jump on the call with them, they end up saying that we have very limited budget, etc. Even if they do say that, try to build a relationship with them and try to actually redirect them to someone else. Just be nice. Be nice to everyone. It's going to definitely help you. There is one more scenario, and that's when you don't have actually time, right? When you can't work at the moment, but you still would like to build a relationship with the client. So the way you are going to do it is relatively simple. I will put you in the description, I will put you the sample, this sample replies to all of these emails. But basically, you should reply to them that you are not available at the moment, but let's stay in touch for the future, so you build this relationship with them, right? And then maybe in the future you can get back to them or they can get back to you. Do not close any sort of doors for you. Try to keep all doors open. And whenever someone is going to reply to you, even if it's low quality, as you can see, reply to them, right? You can't lose anything, but use these templates I'm going to give you for all your emails, so you do not actually waste your time. The one thing I forget to show you is actually those additional documents what I'm sending to the selected clients, to the medium or low quality leads. Basically, in this first one, I'm giving them more fancy version of the CV where I just like give them short introduction, the companies I have been working with, the services I can offer, and then the actual like experience with the description what I have been like doing for these particular companies. That's the first thing. The second thing I'm actually also sending over are the selected design project. Basically the stuff I am not showcasing online, so they can actually see even more of my craft and it can help them to decide if they would like to hire me or not. I try to make these samples as versatile as possible so they can see all these different services from branding to the apps to the dashboards, etc. Basically be really versatile. Before the call with the actual client, you should do your homework. You should prepare the questions you would like to get answers on. Do not come up with the questions during the call, come up with them before. And you can do it relatively easily because the questions are going to be relatively similar for each project. Here are the questions what I am usually asking for. First of all, I have this template where I just fill in the name of the client, the name of the actual name of the client, right? Above that there is actual name of the company. So I do not forget during the call. And then I have the questions. What is the goal of the project? So I can understand what we are trying to achieve and what is the real goal. Then why users should use this software over the other, right? For example, they can tell you that they are better off than competition because X, Y, Z. Who is their competition? This is going to help you to go to their competition website or competition app and study what they are doing. Then, do we know who is going to be the end user? This is super important questions because you need to understand who are you going to designing for. So let's just be prepared for that. Then, are there any limitations I should be aware of? For example, you need to use this framework. We are building the app just for Android or just for iOS. Then do we have potential users for user testing? This is also important because this will make your life easier. Then would you mind sending me free products you like? This is really interesting because the client will be able to send you free products they like, and based on them you will be able to establish and understand what they are looking for visually. How does the success look like? This will help you to, again, get closer to the end goal because they can tell you something like, oh, we would like to onboard new users without any hassle. What would be the ideal timeline? This will help you to understand when and how fast you will need to deliver that. And then, do you have any specific budget for this project? Usually they will answer something you like, no, I don't have the specific budget. Please send me over a proposal, which is great. Or they can tell you directly that they have, $1,000, and you can understand if that's something you are looking for or not. But with all those answers, you will be able to set up the accurate timeline, you will be able to set up the accurate pricing, and then if you will agree on starting on this project, you will be able to start immediately without having any other call. So really create those questions in advance. You can use those and add more into the list, but have them prepared. One more thing. 10 minutes before the call, make sure you are going to the upcoming. Check out how do you actually look. If you look tidy, if you look professional, and also make sure that your room also looks professional. For example, I have here some mess, so I will clean it up so I look as professional as possible. Also, make sure that you are going to check your internet connection, your sound, and do it in advance because no one likes to have technical difficulties during the call, and especially the people on the other end, they could be super busy. So if you miss your opportunity, you can lose this opportunity forever. So definitely check out how you look, how is your connection, and if you have, really good sound quality. Another thing is to be there on time because no one likes waiting, be positive, and also be motivated. No one likes to talk to people who are just sitting there and just listening. Try to be really communicative, try to be nice, and try to really smile to the people. Obviously, do not fake it, be yourself, but showcase the passion. showcase the motivation and showcase that you are that guy who should achieve this job. Really, really do that, because first 1 minute of that call really matters, and it can really help you to win this job if you are going to talk with the confidence, be nice, and be really communicative. So definitely keep that in mind before the call. But right now, let's just jump into the call directly. Hey, how's it going?
Hey man, great. How are you today?
Good. It's a bit late today here. Well, not today, but it's kind of late here because I'm based in the Europe. But yeah, it's end of the Friday, so doing good. What about you?
That's it. Yeah, no, I'm here in San Francisco, and it's still just finished up lunch. Actually, it was pretty great. So on Fridays, I enjoy these longer lunches. So it's nice to kind of get out with the team and take the day a little bit slower. Even though it's late in Europe, I appreciate you hopping on a call.
Yeah, absolutely. I just, I like to jump on the call whenever it's possible with the client, so we can make the first communication as fast and as early as possible. So no worries about it.
Cool. Yeah, appreciate that. That's awesome.
Yeah, totally. So, let me introduce myself, because we have, exchanged a few emails, but I think it's just better to give you short explanation about my work and also give you a bit of insights about my background. So my name is as you know, Luboš Volkov. You have seen a bit of my work, but I'm based in Czech Republic. It's a middle of Europe, and during the last 8 years I had a privilege to work with the companies like Netgear, United Healthcare, Fiat, Chrysler, etc. Basically, I focus mostly on US based companies, and I help them on variety different products. Basically, everything from branding to the app design, to the motion design. I usually try to help them with as many things as possible. And if I don't have that particular expertise, I try to connect them with other freelancers so they have the access to the full package of the services. So that's what I usually do. And to be honest with you, I really like what you guys are doing. I've checked out your website, and I think that your website is pretty cool. And I hope that we actually would be able to transfer some of that look and feel into the actual application. So why don't we just jump into the actual, I have few questions regards to that particular product, so we can actually see if we can work together and see if if we are, going to be good fit together. So let me just start with few questions. I have around 8 of them, so it shouldn't take too much of the time, but it should help me to understand what you are really looking for. But if you will have any additional questions regards to my experience, regards to my background, feel free to ask now, or we can leave it to the end of the call. But I would, right now proceed towards the questions, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course, please, fire away.
Okay, awesome. So I will take a note of this. So first of all, what's the actual goal of this project? What we are trying to achieve here?
Well, at the end of the day, we really just want to build a kick-ass product that people enjoy using. It feels good, it flows nicely, and people come back to it.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds like an awesome goal. It's a bit ambitious. It's a bit ambitious because that's something what everyone would like to achieve, but. Sounds fair enough. I think that the flow of the product is really important, and giving and building something what people really want is really super important. So the second question what I would actually have is that why would actually users should use this software or this app over the other apps, right? What's the main selling point of your product?
That's a good question. We, the team and I, have identified a huge gap in the market where we offer a level of flexibility that other solutions can't. We allow people to book a co-working space and pay by the minute. So instead of offering these inflexible plans where people are stuck to a week or something like that, we do offer kind of the ultimate flexibility for the end user.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fair enough. I think that it's actually the problem I'm having on my end. Whenever I go to the co-working space, I actually, need to either have some sort of a membership or something like that. So I can't really pay for one stay, right? I need to pay for the 1 month, 1 week, etc. So I think that this is actually quite great idea, and I would actually enjoy using this myself. So that's pretty cool.
Thank you. Yeah, that was honestly, when I was traveling around too, I felt the same way about co-working spaces, and the team and I, we were all digital nomads at one point in time. So that was the inspiration.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Okay. So is there any like direct competition you guys have?
Of course, we have local co-working spaces at the end of the day, but given their models were a little bit different because of that kind of pay by the minute flexibility, so we consider them indirect competition. But kind of our more direct competition comes down to honestly just coffee shops.
Okay.
And people going in there and sitting at a table for an hour here and there, whatever.
So you are ultimately going against Starbucks. So that's quite a competition. Okay, cool. Understand.
My investors don't like it when I say that. But.
Okay, got it. Okay, cool. So the really important question is that, do we know who is actually going to be the end user who supposed to actually use this product?
Yeah. So that's a great question. The primary target users of this are going to be people like digital nomads, business travelers, people who are a bit more transient in nature and don't go to the same co-working space every day. And that's these users are the people who would drive the most value from the flexibility that we provide. As far as ages go, I mean, these are just going to be kind of your young professional type people, maybe between 20 and 35 years old. We do have complete buyer personas written up that I can send over afterwards if you want to dig into those a bit deeper, though.
Okay, that's super awesome. I think that having a personas and understanding who we are going to design for is extremely, extremely important. Okay,
absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, next question. Are there any like limitations I should be like aware of, like, frameworks we would need to actually use, or is there like any like a platform limitation, something like that?
Yeah, that's a great question. Right now for this initial build, we are only focusing on the iOS side of it, and we're going to omit Android users initially.
Okay, that's fair enough. I think that the iOS ecosystem is really robust, so I think that we will be able actually to build the design for that platform first, and then we can transition and kind of redesign that for the additional platforms later. So I think that this is actually a good approach.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
Let's proceed forward. Do you have actually any potential users we can use for the user testing going forward? Because I believe it is really important to test and validate your designs with the real users.
Totally, yeah. I do have a coordinator here on the team that would hook you up kind of with our initial beta users, and these are just people that we found at local universities, at coffee shops, etc. So we would just hook you up with them.
Okay, that's super awesome, because I can use platforms like usertesting.com, but it's all the time better to actually use real actual users over users over the internet. So that's again super awesome news. So next question would be would you mind sending me a free product, or telling me what free products you really like or enjoy to use, just so I can get idea about your taste, like a visual and product taste?
That's a good question. Yeah, that's good. Well, let's start right at the top with Uber, of course. That would be a really good one. And then I think as far as more marketplaces go, I really like the tool Working Not Working. And then let's see. I'm trying to give you various examples here, but then kind of on e-commerce, let's go with Shopify.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I really like Uber. I actually use it every single day because the experience is really seamless. You just click on the button and the car is here.
Yeah.
So I think that we should achieve the same experience inside the app. Obviously, we have slightly different flows, etc. But I think that seamless one-button experience is really what could drive the engagement of the users. So that's awesome. Okay,
totally agree.
So few more questions. So probably the most important one is that how would you measure the success, right? What would be the success for you? If we would build a design, we would build the app, what would be the success of this project?
I think that the primary way I'd want to evaluate this is if a user can understand the entire concept of what we're trying to do simply by opening up the app, right? If they can go in the App Store and from a few screenshots understand the full experience, then I'm fairly confident in saying we can win this market quickly.
Okay, awesome. That's quite challenging approach because the app is really limited when it comes to educating the user. But we will really need to nail down the onboarding. We will need to really nail down the educational materials, etc. So it's definitely possible. It's going to be a huge challenge, but that's what I like. I like challenges. So this is awesome. Okay,
here.
2 more questions I do have for you. So we are getting to the end. Sorry about if it's taking too much time, but I like to do this. So I can actually give you like a precise estimation of the budget, of the time, and we can get really accurate when it comes to the to the actual a design. So the next question would be what would be the ideal timeline for you? When would you actually need your designs if the developers are waiting for that, or when you need to get to the market? Just let me know.
I would say within 4 weeks is very ideal. Obviously, I'm not a designer. I'm more of an engineer by background, so I don't have a lot of conception. Do you think 4 weeks is realistic?
Well, I would say it's definitely realistic. It's a bit tight, but we can definitely make it happen. We will need to iterate relatively fast, but I think that it's definitely doable, and we will actually target that time. So I think it's doable, but I will get closer. I will get back to you regards to that.
And I will make myself available for rapid feedback too, if it helps you guys out as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, awesome. So the last question would be probably if you have any specific budget for this, a part of the project.
I would say we don't have a number slapped on it. We did raise a seed round of funding though, it's going to be pretty tight. But at the end of the day, I understand the value of good design, so I will keep myself open. But I'm sure at some point you guys can submit, once you have your information compiled, just give me a loose number and then we can make sure we're good there.
Okay, that sounds really good. The usual process on my end is that I take this information you just gave me. I will see what I can achieve in that particular time, and I will send you a complete proposal with each phase, right? From user experience to motion design to the actual testing, etc. So you can see that that proposal. We can take it to the email. We can, if you will have some questions, we can jump on the call again, and basically if we will agree on this proposal, we can go forward, and we actually don't need to waste time with another call because I have majority of the answers right now, so I can actually jump directly into the first phase of the design. Obviously you would need to send me some supportive files logos, these user personas and any other data what I could actually use for the to craft more accurate designs. But that's basically all from my end. So if you have any additional questions or you would like to ask me something, feel free to do it now, or you can ask whenever you need during the email. And as for the proposal, I will be able to send you those in upcoming one day, so you can expect that and we can just resolve it in the email.
Gotcha. And just for clarity's sake regarding the budget, do you price yourself by hours, or is this going to be on a deliverable basis?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I have been practicing design for last 8 years, so I can design the things relatively fast. So I prefer to actually charge per project, because otherwise I would punish myself for being really experienced, right? So I will give you a breakdown for each specific phase, so you can actually understand how much each phase cost. But in general, I will give you fixed project price, so you don't have any sort of unexpected cost at the end, so you can actually predict your cost and you can predict your runway. So it's going to be definitely beneficial for you.
Cool. That sounds awesome. I'll also need to get you an NDA from the team. Do you mind signing that? Yeah, that's absolutely not a problem. Just send it over in the email. I will have a look on that, and I will sign it via the DocuSign and send it to you. So no worries about it. Awesome, man. Well, that's really all my questions. I'm super excited to get started.
Awesome. Yeah, so thank you very much for the answers. I'm really looking forward to make this happen. I will get back to you in next 24 hours, and we will take it from there. So thank you very much for your time, and talk to you soon, man. Great. The call was awesome and everything went really smooth, because I have done my homework and I have prepared for the call in advance. I've prepared the questions, I have prepared all the valuable information, and I have checked my connection, I have checked if I look good, and I have been nice and positive during the entire call. You have seen that there was a lot of like a positive vibe going between me and the client, so I really believe that the call went really, really well. But you need to trust your feelings. Whenever you have a call with a client, you really need to see if you think you would be able to work with that person on the other end. And if you don't feel it, just don't go forward with that job. Trust your feelings. But right now, we need to do a few more things. We need to prepare the timeline, we need to prepare the proposal, and also we need to sign the NDA template. So let's just have a look on that right now. Okay, since we have asked all these questions during the call, we can right now set up pretty accurate proposal because we have all the answers we need to have. We can understand how much time this is going to take us and how much money we should ask for this project. Obviously, everyone is going to ask for the different money because they have different experience, different hourly rate, etc. You need to do that yourself, but I will show you how you can actually do this proposal. So first of all, you have all the notes, right? You take the notes, right? You create like some sort of introduction where you actually describe what you are going to achieve, something that is going to feel really visual. By the way, this template is in the attachment, so you can use it for your own advantage. But take this as the introduction about the actual project. And then for the proposal itself, basically what you need to do is showcase all the parts of the process you are going to do. Obviously, every single project is going to be slightly different task list, right? But basically what you can see here is that the name of the task, the time this is going to take you, and then the final hours and budget, right? So keep in mind that you should all the time add a bit more hours into the of each phase, because you never know if there is going to be one more or two more or three more iterations. So just make sure that you do not end up losing money. Definitely put there more hours. Obviously, I said in the previous part that I'm not value my time by hours, but by the end of the day, you still need to break it down by hours so the client can have the full clarity about the actual process. It will just make them more confident, and it will showcase that you really understand what you are doing, right? So definitely break it down, put there the hours, make sure that the number at the end is something what you are looking for. Do not do fixed pricing, let's say that you would charge $5,000 for app all the time. Do client, based pricing. So let's say that the client need the stuff really fast, or they are based in the XYZ location. You can charge 20% more. Just make sure that you, understand who the person on the other end is, and if you can afford that, rise in that budget, right? So definitely do not have fixed pricing. Do the pricing based on the actual client. Okay, the next thing we actually need to do is to send the proposal and the timeline to the client. The way you do it is relatively simple. Create an email which is relatively short and effective. Focus on the core value. Showcase them the timeline, so they can understand when they could expect the first results and when they can get each phase. Then also include the ideal starting date so they can actually plan accordingly. Attach to that email the proposal we have crafted a few minutes ago, and if you have done your work properly, they will more likely agree on that particular budget because you have assessed your client and you understand that they could afford this pricing, or they will ask you for the negotiation, right? You can do it either via the email or you can do it on the call. But don't be afraid of that. Just explain them your process, how long you have been learning the design, and that you can actually give them really a big value, and more likely they will understand that this pricing really makes sense. But if they will not understand this, particle project pricing, try to negotiate. You can negotiate. You can put the price lower, but do not go over 20%. Otherwise, you will end up losing money, right? So, that's the technical end of the first phase. But they will probably ask you also about signing the NDA. So NDA is non-disclosure agreement. That basically means that all work you will produce for them, everything from sketches to the files to the notes, can't be posted anywhere. You need to keep it as the biggest secret. Otherwise, if you will break that, there are certain things what are going to follow. They will either sue you, they will even need to pay money, etc. Don't be afraid. It's not happening way too often if you are careful like you should do. But whenever you receive the NDA, make sure that you read that really properly. Ideally, give it to your friend who is lawyer just to double check if everything is okay. But don't be afraid of that. It's really common approach, but definitely read it. The last thing what I would like to say is that for each project, right, try to ask for the prepayment. Eventually, ideally, it's around a 20% from the entire budget. So you actually have some sort of a financial security when you start working on that project, right? Because sometimes what can happen with lower quality clients, the fact they will, end up not liking the work and they don't want to pay you, etc. So you have that prepayment to actually, have a better conversation with them. So definitely ask for the prepayment. Don't be afraid to ask for that, because it's quite common approach. Just discuss that with the client directly on the call or via the email. Keep the line of the communication between you and the client open. And that's really it. All these templates, all these files I've showed you, you can find those in the attachment, so you can use this for your own advantage and really take your client conversations to the next level.
The first episode is over. You have been able to learn everything from how you can reply to the different types of the emails, how you should prepare for your calls with the clients, and how you should communicate with them. You have also seen the proposals templates, NDA templates, and you have also seen a selected work templates, etc. So in the next episode, we are going to have a look on more design-oriented phases, such as a mood boarding, flows, etc. So definitely stay tuned. I will be releasing the next episode in a week or maybe a bit more, because it's really time consuming to produce high quality content for you, but I'm super excited for you. If you will have any questions, just put them in the comments below. I will be more than happy to answer those. And until then, keep moving.